call the Community Service Standing Committee meeting to start at 6:03 p.m. And I'll hand off the chair to Councilor Heath.
Thank you, Mayor. Ed Clonate, Tansy, good evening, everybody. Mayor and Council wish to acknowledge the town of Fort Smith is located within Treaty 8 territory. Treaty 8 territory also encompasses the traditional homelands of the Salt River First Nation, Smith Landing First Nation, and the Indigenous Métis people of Fort Smith. These nations have maintained stewardship of their sacred lands throughout the generations. We honor your knowledge, teachings, traditions, and the land. We are mindful that colonization has not been kind. We respectfully recognize our generational histories and commit to strive for unity in the spirit of truth and reconciliation.
I move that the agenda be adopted as presented. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. The agenda is adopted as presented. We also have the minutes from the Community Services Committee meeting on October 8th, 2024.
I'll move that the minutes from the Community Services Standing Committee meeting on October 8th, 2024 be received as information. I'll second.
Discussion. Okay, all in favor? In our meeting packages, we also have visions and values. And there's a declaration of financial interest, but there's none this week. Okay, so moving on, we're going into the director's report for community services report October and November with Director Colucci.
Yes, correct. Okay. Well, you just say it's in your report review.
Okay.
You could ask if our director wants anything to add to it, or if there's questions from the floor.
Director Colucci.
Nope. We try to include as much in there as possible, but if there's any questions.
Mayor Ferguson.
Just that this is, I like I said before, I really like the reporting. It's really in depth. And I was going through your calendars and like, it seems like there's a full schedule of events in all our gyms, pools, and ice surfaces. Like, I mean, I'm even glow swimming now on Fridays. So that's a creative like event for maybe grown-ups want to go glow swimming. I'm not, I was interested. So I thought that was a really great job. Thank you. Good job to all the staff.
They've been working very hard.
Councilor Cox.
Yeah, look, this looks great. I can really see how this will be really useful kind of over a span of years to start identifying trends and what's working and what's not. One question, I was just curious about how the library stats are caught. That people sign out a bumper activity. I was just thinking, you just walk into the library and read something on a shelf and walk out again. Those guys aren't captured necessarily.
Director Colucci.
Yeah, so there's a few different methods with the library because the usage of the space is not the same for everybody. So we will have just attendance in the library, which is our foot traffic sort of thing, whether they stay for the whole day or whether they pop in for 5 minutes and then leave. So we'll track them as a statistic around actual attendance in the library. We take a separate attendance for each program so that we know, like, it gives us an idea of how many people come into the library each month versus how many people come in specifically for programming. So it can help us kind of give a percentage and see if there's any trends. Because we even track it down to the, we block off the day in hours so we can see trends in when we're the busiest and stuff like that, which we usually kind of put together in a year-end report. And then circulation is another statistic. So even if we have folks, especially when we just opened, what we saw a lot in the new location was we had a really big jump in attendance, but not so much in circulation of actual materials. And now we're seeing that come back up. So we can definitely see trends in when folks are just hanging out in the library, when they're really using it for the materials to check out, when they're coming in for the programming. And because we collect them in a different way, it does help us inform kind of what folks are looking for, how we should be programming, what hours are most popular, things like that.
Mayor Ferguson.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, I know that your employee was being trained or was being trained for that Friday Eve or Friday, Saturday youth targeting position. I was wondering how far that training's gone or that person's there in the acting as that functional role.
Yeah.
George.
Yep, so we do have someone in the role and they've been going through, I think they've completed 5 or 6 courses now at this point. So they just keep adding on to there. It's a really great service that we've signed up for through YIPA, which is like a youth worker company that helps train and add certifications and things like that. So we've been doing a lot of the like kind of non-programmed engagement, and we're starting to try to branch off. And now that we know the kids and see what they're kind of wanting to be involved in, finding some partnerships to also add some programming in there. Like we've noticed that they're really interested in learning how to prepare food, and then they get snacks, which everyone loves snacks, so it's the way to everybody's heart. But finding a way to make it meaningful and keep them engaged. And so trying to look towards options like that too that we can add to it. But yep, we have someone in the role. They work 5 days a week, so they're there 5 evenings a week from Tuesday to Saturday.
Thank you.
Councillor Kubrick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Under the report, there's a small section on economic development and tourism. First, I must extend kudos to a very energetic EDO that the town, or PEDO that the town has engaged. I've been working with them on several different initiatives. One of the key initiatives or activities that happened just recently was a group traveling up from NWT Tourism and Destination Canada talking about a new sort of corridor, sky corridor tourism promotion campaign that they're looking at trying to initiate to sort of focus people that are traveling to Edmonton and sort of trying to generate interest for them to continue their journey north towards the NWT. And they kept on saying Yellowknife. And I'm thinking that as long as this initiative is still going to be ongoing, that the town of Fort Smith needs to play a very prominent role in engaging this group. Otherwise, I really see it becoming a Edmonton Yellowknife corridor with very little initiatives to sort of draw people off to the side, which is Fort Smith. And I think what we have here to offer is fantastic. But as a community, we're sort of at a disadvantage because we don't have a lot of product ready and available for tourism to engage in. And I think as part of our strategic planning, which is going to be happening soon, is we have to try and figure out how we can engage our business community to take advantage of the natural assets that we have around our community and promote those to travelers. It's an untapped market. It will bring new dollars into our community. And the idea of us sitting back and being a comfortable government community, relied on the government for our economy is it's old hat. It's not, the government's not going to get any bigger. The government's going to continue to shrink. So we have to look at how we're going to diversify our economy. I think this is an excellent opportunity to take that first big step forward, and I think the town needs to be a very active participant in that. So when we start talking about the strategic planning process, I'm definitely going to be speaking up on initiatives that we need to look at and to advance.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. Any more discussion? We're moving on to administration then. The director's report doesn't need any.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so in our practice, we also have written notes, revised draft community plan, and recommendations for them. Am I gonna move it?
I move that council, having reviewed the revised draft of the community plan, recommend to give the first reading at December 17th council meeting, subject to any further revisions based on the December 10th standing committee meeting. Discussion.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Yeah, you do.
Councillor Cox?
Yeah, just kind of a question on process. Like I've seen at least one item in here that has potential to cause some conflict. So I'm just curious about the process of how this gets refined. So it goes into public consultation for a couple of weeks, and then some of the community has another chance to provide input, and then it would get potentially revised again. Just curious between public input and the readings, how evolutions will happen.
Sale?
Thank you. It goes for, we have a public meeting, public consultation period has pretty much finished. Any comments, suggestions, or concerns can be brought forward right now. We can put them into the next revision. It's still a fluid document until it gets approved by the minister. So there is still that opportunity for us to do adjustments, to have those discussions. So right now, anything you have concerns, you bring to me, we revisit that, we have that discussion. I'll bring back the revised to next council meeting. It'll get first reading. At that time, I'd like to take it to leadership, to TLC, and have that sort of real discussion and meat of it. And then if there's anything major, I bring it back and we review it. It doesn't go to the minister till after second reading, which will probably be in January. So there is still time for it. I would appreciate any concerns you have. We can either discuss them here, or you can send them to me in writing, or you can come in and see me and we'll sit down. And I'll sit back down with the consultant and sort of see how we can ameliorate that one a little bit and make sure that it's a workable document, or if it's something that is the standard across. Maybe the new standard is proximity to certain resources around town or certain services. Then we need to have that conversation. But it's nothing's in stone until basically the minister's given approval, and then the third reading becomes almost just a check mark. So there is time. There's still a couple months.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, so all in favor? Do I have to read it again?
Nope, I'm gonna sit here.
Okay, the next item is attendance at the NWTAC 2025 Annual General Meeting.
So I move that council members are requested to confirm their intention to attend the NWTAC 2025 Annual General Meeting by December 17th, 2024.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Councillor Coubret?
Based on it being, last year it was in Hay River, so it was fairly easy for council to travel to the to the venue. Is there any thought given to the budget implications of traveling to Yellowknife to attend this? Of putting a cap on the number of attendees that council would consider sending?
SAO.
No, at this time, we haven't had that discussion. I'd actually assumed that most of council, like it was in Hay River, would attend, so I think that would have to be a council discussion. I can bring back an estimate, what the cost, what we could look at the cost. As we're still working on the budget, we still have time to move that up a bit. I think it would just limit, any further conferences. We have to have the conversation on the FCM conference, if that's something that council is interested in attending in the spring. I think it's usually in May or June, and what that would do to the overall budget. But that would be a part of the budget discussion as well.
Mayor Ferguson.
In the past year, I know we all attended the last one that was here, right, the one that was in Hay River, and the previous one in Yellowknife, I think we did limit to only a few, like not everyone. Some people couldn't go, but this is a pretty new council, and I would hope we could find the money for the folks that haven't attended something like this to go, because it was really good learning experience for myself when I went the first time. And the courses that are good and the speakers that are there are really good. So when will we have those budget, or when can we know, or when have we done in the past? Is what I mean. Like, has it always been limited, or the only reason why we went last time with the whole council is because of the proximity of Hay River? What's our normal? Do we have something in a bylaw about this?
SAO.
I would like direction to do some research and bring back a little more information on that, please.
That need to be moved, that one, Councillor Cook.
Yeah, I just, like Mike was saying, that it's definitely a good concern, especially considering the days and if it lines up with the flights and also means an extra 2 or 3 nights in hotel for 6 or 7 people, then that can get expensive really fast. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it because I have to be heading out the bush on Monday, so I can't risk not getting back. Work commitments. But I talked with the Hay River councillor today, just a conversation. I asked him about that meeting and he said it's be worth going to. Good thing. The other thing I had noted is that looks like it's the dates for the strategic planning. Some overlap.
No.
No, the dates changed for strategic planning, March 1st.
Yes. Yes, they're February 6, 7, 8 now.
Councillor Kubrick.
And based on the suggestion from our SAO that she'll be coming back to us with estimates and things, I would suggest that the motion be amended to maybe pushing the date back to September 19th rather than 17th is
What's the council?
the day that
What's the council?
I would assume would be the day that the SAO would be getting back to us with further information at our regular council meeting.
SAO.
I'm still gonna hold to the 17th because I am gone the 19th, so if we can sort of confirm everything, I can bring it back as a briefing note. But you will have it on the Friday before to review and have that information so that the motion can come forward during the council meeting. Or just the information.
So it's not being amended then, or, okay.
Councillor Kubrick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one other, and it's just, I know there was an email out earlier today about it as well, is as a council, we need to put our thinking caps on. This is the NWTAC is an excellent opportunity for us to bring forward resolutions, which are action items that we're suggesting other communities support, requests for the government to take certain actions. For an example, one that was brought forward by the Fort Smith contingency several years ago was for the government to take some action to investigate how they can improve the primary education system, and it's been a standing resolution. I haven't had a chance to review to see whether it's continuing to be a standing resolution, but it's ideas like these where there's certain actions that we feel the government needs to take action on, and standing the resolutions coming forward at the NWTAC is a good venue. It goes on record. The government has a specific period of time that they have to provide a written response of how they're going to address the concerns of not only our community, but all the communities if these resolutions are passed. So I would suggest if you have the opportunity, go to the NWTAC website, review their, they'll have a section with new resolutions, which ones are being proposed to be adopted at the meeting, standing resolutions, and there will also be a section on previous resolutions that were standing that they're withdrawing. And there's a couple of those that sometimes it may not be in our best interest that they be withdrawn.
Thank you, Councillor Coubret. Any further discussion about the attendance of the NWTAC 2025 general? Sam?
Did council want to provide direction?
Thank you. I think the direction was you're gonna get us the briefing notes, so we'll have it in our package by Friday, and then we'll be able to let you know by the 17th. Okay. Right, they're still gonna come, so at the meeting.
Make a motion on that?
Do you want it as a motion?
Sure, why not? A motion, no action?
Just, you have to finish the first one, so. Just a point of order, so we just finished the first one here about us giving our times that either yes or no, we're going to attend the meeting by the 17th.
Okay.
Yeah. You should have to call a vote.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. Councillor Coubret?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the administration prepare a briefing note on the cost for council members to attend the NWTAC annual general meeting in 2025, and at the same time provide a estimate for attendance at the FCM or the MC.
I think that could be a budgetary discussion, to be honest.
Then we'll just roll it back a bit, so. That administration provide us, budget estimates for attending the NWTAC 5 annual general meeting.
Second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Other business, so expression of interest for the Community Services Advisory Board, Roman.
I'll move the council approve the appointment of Roman Noes onto the Community Services Advisory Board for a 2-year term ending in December 2026.
I second it.
Any discussion? Do I have to say that after everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Any discussion? All in favor? We also have another expression of interest for the Community Services Advisory Board. Rebecca Humphrey.
That council approve the appointment of Rebecca Humphrey onto the Community Services Advisory Board for a 2-year term ending December 2026.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Just,
Can we retract?
no, I just, positions are open still for our community boards, or are we still looking for people to put their names out for all of our community boards? Okay. We are looking, so if anyone wants to put their name forward for the community boards, we need your some input, so.
So,
Counselor Cox?
the development appeal board gone out as well?
Not recently, but I know we did.
My spot would have moved over.
SAO?
Sorry, not recently, but that is a good reminder. Thank you, council. There has been a shifting with, new council members coming off the boards. We'll definitely do a call out again. Thank you.
Okay, excusing of counselors.
Move that Councillor Kursak be excused from the Community Services Standing Committee meeting on December 10th, 2024.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Counselor Cox?
Do we add Mike onto that as well?
Yes, we do.
And, Councillor Tucky did call in as well, unfortunately.
They all have to be read individually, so I'll do this one. Did we vote on that?
No,
No.
we just got to move.
Yeah. Amend the motion.
And just put all three names? Okay. So I'll amend my motion and to include Councillor Tucky and Councillor Keiser to be excused from this Community Service Standing Committee meeting.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? All right, the date of our next meeting, the next community services standing meeting will be on January 14th, 2025.
Next year.
I move we adjourn at 6:30 PM.
All in favor? Yeah.